Hello there, welcome to another episode of the Allotment Dram. This is a series of short videos where we sit and talk about different whiskies in the surroundings of our North London allotment, and you join me on what's been quite a lovely mid-September afternoon actually. Relatively warm, nice sort of temperature to be working sort of up here. Got quite a few things done. Still have to wear a jumper, but you know, can't really complain. Bit of grey sky, but other than that, a very pleasant afternoon up here. But while that's all very interesting, I'm sure most of you didn't tune in to hear about the weather in North London or what I've been up to. You tuned in to hear about whiskey, of course. And what is the Allotment Dram today, I hear you ask? Well, it's a brand new whiskey. It was literally, we went to the launch maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's very exciting because it's the launch of the core range of one of our favourite distilleries, which is LOCHLEA. And we've got one of the new core range here, which is the LOCHLEA Dark Briar. And yeah, I'll explain a little bit about this particularly in a minute. But you've probably seen us talk about our barley before. That was the only core product for 18 months, almost 2 years, but it's now been joined by 3 others, and each one pushes their sort of house style, their signature style of single malt in a different direction. And it's sort of been hinted at. They've done some seasonal releases like the ploughing and the cropping and sowing, etc. Over the last 3 years. So some of these things have been hinted at a little bit, but yeah, really interesting. So you've got the 3 that are adding to our barley. So our barley will be the first, and then you've got orchard and oak. Orchard and oak. It's not easy for you to say. You've got dark briar, which is the one I've got here, and then you've got smoke without fire. So what can I tell you about each? Well, orchard and oak, got it right that time, is 3 casks. So ex-bourbon, virgin American oak, and then also and quite an orthodox, you don't really see it much in Scotch whisky maturation, is ex-Calvados casks from France. So ex-bourbon, virgin American oak and Calvados casks. Then you've got the dark briar here, which you can see is very dark, so you can probably guess there's some sherry cask here. And in fact, there's 2 different types of sherry cask. There's Pedro Jimenez sherry, and there's also Oloroso sherry butts, the big massive casks, and also some port cask in there as well. And then smoke without fire has been full maturation in ex-peated Scotch whisky casks. So it's previously held a smoky Scotch whisky. They don't say where from, but you know, there's one very famous island that's known for making smoky peaty whisky in Scotland, so possibly from there. And yeah, just really interesting. So you have our barley, which really shows off this sort of fruity style. You have the orchard and oak, got it right again. You've got orchard and oak, which has particularly this Calvados influence, so it really brings out that sort of green, like fruitiness of apple and pear. You know, Calvados is an apple brandy after all. You've got dark briar, which pushes it in the sort of richer, sort of deeper direction. And then you've got the smoke without fire, which is adding a little bit of smokiness, but without having smokiness, peat smoke in the barley. It's just coming from the cask. It's a bit more subtle generally. So these are all bottled at 46%. They're all non-chill filtered. They're all natural colour. Everything that's made at LOCHLEA uses barley that's 100% grown on LOCHLEA Farm, which is where the distillery is. So just close to the town of Kilmarnock in the Lowlands. And they've been created by Jill Boyd. It's her first real project as the new master blender. Really, you know, sort of to put these 3 whiskies together to join the our barley. So, and they're all going to cost £50 as well. So, you know, really not too bad at all. But I think that's quite enough chat and backgrounds. We should probably have a taste, shouldn't we? As you can see, I've not opened this bottle yet, so I'm actually going to do that right here for you. and give you some initial thoughts. There we go. Look at that. Lovely deep colour. You can see it in the bottle as well. Look at that. Most of the other Lochleas are really quite pale, you know, sort of lemon yellow, pale gold. This is a sort of dark, coppery, almost like an amber sort of colour. Oh, and it's very sort of rich and fruity here. You've got sort of dark, sort of dried fruits. I'm thinking like raisin, prunes, some dates, but you're still getting that green apple-y quality that you get with LOCHLEA. It's a bit more like a caramelised apple now, I think, because of the sherry cask influence. Very enticing, perfect for this sort of, you know, the weather's started to turn slightly autumnal now. You can feel it, and this is the perfect whiskey for this, I think. You know, this time of the year, maybe even later into winter or like Christmas time. Yeah, a bit of dark chocolate as well, just sort of under there. Let's have a taste. It's a little bit sugary, like really good, like brown sugar, muscovado sugar. It's quite mouth coating. You've got this lovely, the raisin, the prunes. There's some like dried apricot in there as well that I'm getting like immediately. And that caramelized apple, or maybe it's like the toffee apple, you know, like you get in the fairground, like that old school toffee apple there. And just underneath you've got the dark chocolate that was sort of hinted at on the nose. Quite a lot of baking spice as well. So that was probably coming through on the nose, but it's definitely coming through on the palate now. You know, like some cinnamon, those sort of warming spices, powdered ginger, a bit of mace maybe. Yeah, very nice indeed. It's a bit of like, almost like black treacle or molasses coming through. Just on the back there now after like, what, a minute or so. But let's have another taste. It's so viscous and mouth coating. It's really delicious. Real great first impression. You've got now you've got some layers to it. Say that molasses treacle, like a treacle tart or something, like sponge pudding, you know, treacle sponge pudding, something like that, sort of dessert style. There's some sort of like blackberry or like bramble jam now. There's some quite distinct, actually, like candied orange peel, maybe even like marmalade. You know, like really good quality marmalade, not the cheap stuff. The really good quality that has a lot of that candied orange peel in, and then just like a little dusting of cocoa right at the end. It all mixed in with like the prunes, the raisins, etc. Yeah, very nice indeed. Yes, it's super impressive. We went to the launch, as I say, a couple of weeks ago, and we're very impressed with all of them. We tried the barley, which we're very familiar with. We've reviewed on the website, we've reviewed as a Allotment Dram video, and that's kind of like the benchmark for us. And then the fact that Orchard and Oak kind of pushed in this very sort of appley orchard, green fruit direction. This dark Briar goes in the richer, sort of slightly heavier, fruitier, dried fruit sort of direction. And then the smoke without fire, equally as nice, just with this subtle sort of smoke, you know, very sort of integrated with that sort of appley and sort of honeyed sweetness that you get. So yeah, very impressive. Yeah, so try them out, and really good price as well. You know, £50, you know, for a bottle. You know, so they could have put it a bit higher quite easily, but they've put it out. They want people to try them and actually drink them. So, you know, hats off to them for that at LOCHLEA. But yeah, I think without further ado, we'll get on with a few more things before we head off home and let you carry on with whatever you were doing before you stumbled across this video. And from myself and the LOCHLEA dark Briar, we will bid you farewell and hopefully see you again soon for another allotment dram. Cheers!